Okay, the alert just went
These crazy cats.
Crazy.
It's been our time for they're climbing all over me. I don't want to be a part of it. I could be a little more centered. Centered.
Alrighty. Hi, everybody.
There we go. Hey, everybody. So we've got welcome David, Ash, Ashley, Jill, Portia, Susanna, Megan. We're going to give this a second to let a few people tune in before we go ahead and get started on your questions. You guys can start posting your questions now about anything: spiritual, paranormal, lost objects, psychic, mediumistic, if you have loved ones you want to speak to. Okay, anything goes. Welcome. Okay, Stefan, good. And I do want to make a couple quick announcements while we let everybody tune in. So if you were interested in hosting a party here at our new location, the doors are now open for that. I am back to doing in-person parties. I could also travel out to where you are, of course, but we are booking here at this 1882 funeral home, headquarters for the Ivy League. And you may want to book like an event for the holidays. It's wonderful to give to your family or your clients, your business partners. So keep that in mind. Also, certificates for the holidays are now on sale. So if you want to gift a reading with me or classes to the Ivy League Psychic Academy, you can check that out. All of this is up on my website, ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com, isn't it? Is party booking options for this place up on the website?
No, they text me for those, but I can get them up.
They're texting. Okay, so we will, I'll make sure I get that up on the website tonight. Otherwise, you guys can text Paul if you want to book your event at this location. He can put that in the comment section for you so you know where to text. What else do we have coming up? So we've got Psychic Mediumship course for the winter session, begins December 6th. And if you want to get on the early bird wait list to ensure your seat, you're going to want to do that at psychicmediumshipcourse.com. All right, looks like we have a few people tuning in. Thank you so much for the donations. Donations are certainly appreciated. If you guys want to check out the 3 different tiers of memberships, you can hit that join button. I do exclusive Ask Ivy shows. You get your monthly astrology, direct spirit messages on the weekly basis, all kinds of great stuff there. And what else? If you guys could give this video a thumbs up, okay, right now, that would be perfect. And please subscribe. If you missed this week's free mini class here on YouTube, you can go up in the playlist and watch it. It was on the art of boundaries, how to love from afar. If you've had to set boundaries or go no contact with someone that you love, this class could help you a lot. And next week's free mini class is on, what is it?
Love
anger?
Your anger, it loves you.
Love your anger, it loves you. Especially for us women, we have been taught never to embrace our anger. Men, on the other hand, are taught only to embrace their anger. So there's a lot of confusion about what anger is and how it can be useful, and how it's part of our spiritual journey, our healing journey. And so this class is going to be great for everybody. Okay, love your anger, embrace your anger, it loves you. What is it really supposed to be used for? And when does it become toxic and something you need to deal with, okay? So that is next Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on TikTok at Ask Ivy and YouTube here. All right, so looks like we have a few people tuning in. You guys post your questions. Paul, my adorable producer, will be taking them as he sees fit, as Spirit tells him to. How are you, Paulie?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. All right, welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy, where I train people internationally. And now we are back to in person in everything, ranging from psychic mediumship development to astrology, numerology, tarot, Reiki, paranormal work, empathic work, meditation, you name it, we do it. So I hope to see you for classes. Check out all of the free mini classes I've been putting out since the pandemic hit, called the Quarantine Series, here in my playlist. I've been putting out about 1 to 2 per week. What you've caught here tonight is my weekly Ask Ivy show, where I answer your questions. I deliver messages from spirit. If you don't get your question answered and you still need some help, you can submit an email question into my website or book a reading with me. You can also call into Ivy's Healing Call Center, open 7 days a week. All of that's up on my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. And donations are appreciated. Are we ready to get started?
Yeah, just if people, when they submit questions, if they would include a name where applicable, that would be very helpful. And they only need to post once.
Paul wants you to only post once, okay? Yes, I appreciate it because it's great for my feed, but and my ranking in the algorithm, but it annoys the life out of him. So, and there's no need, okay? So Paul's trying to get through all these messages and to help your neighbor. If you post 50 times, you're taking away from your neighbor, and also he just won't take that question. So let's not. And yes, please include names of anyone you're referring to. So if you have a deceased loved one you want to hear from, give that person's specific name. If you're asking about a lover, is this the right person for me? Give a name. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, who is first?
I'm going to start with Megan.
Megan?
Would it be in my family's best interest to visit my brother Nick in jail? Would we get any answers or closure from him?
You know, I think that the positive energy that comes from this is knowing that you've turned every stone and that you've done everything that you could do. The negative, if you allow yourself to see it that way, is that you're not getting much out of it. Like you're not getting what you set out to get, which is, I'm assuming, mostly those answers. And so you really are in this free will zone. It's not a destiny charted answer where it's like, yes, you must go, or there's no red flag associated with this one. It's really whatever you choose. But my feeling and interpretation is that you're going to come up empty on this in a lot of ways. However, if it's something you feel you should do, you should put in that effort. Your gut is telling you, no, I need to do this to fulfill what I feel is my responsibility in it. Then I would do it and get it off your chest. Sure. Okay.
We have one from Pris.
Pris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I keep focusing on creating art, painting, digital, drawing?
Okay, so should I focus on creating art? And if so, is it painting?
Well, this is, I think.
Digital, drawing.
That's her creating.
Oh, she does all of that.
Yeah.
She wants to know she should focus on that?
Focus on creating.
Well, I think the painting is not going to go as quickly as you might want it to. So it seems to have episodes of stagnancy. But just because things aren't selling or moving doesn't mean it isn't supposed to be there. Art sometimes is just to be created. That's its purpose. And it does seem like eventually, you have this funny thing that goes on with some of your paintings where like later, like even possibly a year later or longer than that, somebody picks it up and it becomes useful. So you're not going to be able to look at a normal time frame with that. Like I produced it and off it goes. It doesn't work that way with the painting. The digital stuff seems to have the most activity. And so if we're talking about being able to pay those bills and put food on the table, we're probably looking more into the digital arts there. It also seems like you network well through that. And like there could be someone in a position of authority within the next, I want to say 3 to 7 months who sees you and wants to bring you on board. So we could see some doors of opportunity opening from that. The drawing stuff seems connected to the digital stuff. I don't know what that means exactly, other than you seem to come up with ideas here on paper before it ever gets to that part. And I see you telling stories through your drawing. And that's one of the things Spirit your joy guide in particular wants you to pay attention to is that you're supposed to be telling these stories almost poetically for other people to hear and receive. It's also about your perception and your wisdom. Okay. So I wouldn't give up on that either, even though it doesn't always seem to go. But that may lead to some illustrating, book illustration down the road. The next 5 years, you'll have some productivity there.
Okay, we have one from Christy.
Christy?
I was curious about a relationship with Justin I've been involved in on and off for several years. I'm curious if there's lessons still to learn from why this dynamic keeps starting and ending.
You keep starting and ending it. That's the lesson. Ta-da! That's it. You keep allowing it back in. It's over. It's dead. It's like beating a dead horse. It's I actually got when you said his name, I got a burning up the back of my neck up into my head, and I'm starting to get a headache. I didn't block. I'm very tired, and seasonal affective disorder is kicking in, obviously, but it's that's not right. Okay. So that means that his energy carries with it a certain level of toxicity for you that could affect you spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You know, it's not a healthy scenario, and you keep asking the same questions. Your protector guide and your relationship guides just keep saying, like, it's like a Ferris wheel, like over and over and over again. You keep asking the same questions. You keep allowing it back in. And then you keep saying, like, is there more? No, there's nothing more. You haven't learned anything really from this in quite a while. It's really a done deal. It's that you shouldn't lower your standards. And it's showing you what not to do. And it's showing you more of what it is that you want to attract into your life. And I just did a free mini class, was it last night, called The Art of Boundary Setting. Okay. How to Love from Afar. That may help you, or go onto my website, check out a class called Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting, and apply it. Okay. Also, I just want to say this. Sometimes when you stay way past, like, the party is over, you can't learn anything more, but years later, or once there's been separation in time, you can learn more from not necessarily this particular relationship, but definitely what you were going through during that time and how you weren't healing. Okay.
Okay. This one is from David.
David?
Was wondering if Farron, F-A-R-R-O-N, Farron's dog, Jack, has any messages for him. Jack passed a few years ago, and he was greatly missed.
Aw. When I go over here with Jack's energy, I feel like he uses numbers to communicate with Farron. I feel like he wants to watch over. He doesn't like when Farron gets nervous. So I can't prescribe diagnose. I'm not saying it's acid stomach or ulcers per se, but it seems like he has either irritable bowel or almost like nervous stomach. And so he doesn't like when he's anxious. So he comes in during those times to calm him, to soothe him, and to help him to focus and to stay centered and rooted and grounded. And he just makes me feel like, you know, when a dog is at peace, just here in the present moment with the sun shining on its face, that's where Farron does best. So he helps him find his center and to be that. I think he sleeps with him, and I can't tell if these are his ashes or if this is just some type of it almost feels like a little statue of him that he has. He sees this, and I feel that he tries to talk to him a lot. So Farron should listen more and pay attention to ear ringing tinnitus. Okay.
Okay. This one is from Quails Beak.
Quails Beak?
Should I sell my truck?
I would. This just feels like, it feels almost like it's not yours anymore is the best way I can describe it. I see the keys going over to somebody else who is like ready to receive it. Like, I don't know if they're younger, they just like need it more, but it feels like it's waiting. Like somebody else is waiting. It's their blessing now. It's no longer yours. And so I would wonder too, if that could lead to kind of like I talk about the breaking of the legs, if it could lead to some mishaps with it, like you could repair it and then find that there's another repair, because it really isn't yours anymore. So it's sort of being removed. Okay, I would.
This one is from David Andrews.
David, another David. Yeah. Okay.
Can I get a general reading? I feel lost.
Okay. I feel like one of the really important things to do right now is to let go of your past. Your guides say that you're stuck in your past. And you have a grandfather who comes through mom's side of the family who says that he's been trying to get you going, trying to get your motor going. But it seems like you may have been sort of revved up and going so fast, and that your brain was working so fast for so long, you almost feel like you hit a brick wall, and now you're kind of down on the floor, and they're trying to get you back up, but you're tired, you're kind of burnt out, you don't feel like it, and you don't feel passionate about anything. You're a bit detached and numbed out. And so I think it's important for you to realize that this is a great time for you to just kind of give it up to the universe and to double check and make sure you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing and not worrying about the rest. This is a time for you to focus on your self-care, your self-love, your well-being. And it's almost like a remodel of your lifestyle. Okay. So it's about health. It's about wellness. And I think that you've also put yourself, I want to talk about self-esteem a little bit and like ego, the ego being bruised. Seems like you've gotten knocked down a few times and you're not really understanding your value. There's a big difference between being egotistical and having nothing to back it, and then feeling your self-worth and knowing what your value is. And they want to get you to focus on that more, especially in relationship to others. You have a tendency to put yourself on the back burner and hold yourself sort of down low. It's time for you to share more. You'll be going through this change for about 6 to 7 months, but it seems like the sun's coming out, okay, right around the corner here. And I want to say about, 3 days, 3 weeks, we're going to see some changes.
Okay. Last one is from Kira.
Kira?
Should I try to find a job?
I think that this is probably smart to do because it almost seems like what you actually want to be doing. And there is a lot of talk of business ownership with you. So whether it's like self-employment, contracting, business ownership, there's a lot of that for you. But it almost seems like what you want to be doing is, and then there's this image of like children and even like a daycare. And I'm not saying that's what it's going to end up being per se. It'll be up to you. But there is this need to go forward, even if it isn't the end all be all or something you're supposed to stay in long term. Sometimes the universe won't reward you with the final blessing until you are taking every step along the way that you've been told to. And so it's sort of like a test. It's like you're proving that you will be of service, or that you will be obedient to spirit, that you will do what you're supposed to. And that does feel like applying and trying to get yourself out there. And it's almost like no sooner does that resume get accepted and you're moving forward with that, then you end up doing what you actually want to do. Okay.
All right. We'll take a quick pause here to thank everyone for donating. David, Devin, Megan, thank you so much. And Ivy hitting home tonight. Megan, Chris, both Davids, Christy, also thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Everything's really on point and helping everybody out tonight. So
good. I am so glad. Yes, and thank you guys.
Speaking of Devin, we have a question from Devin.
Okay, Devin.
I've been feeling for a while that I've had special abilities. Is there a way you can help me figure out what they are? Sometimes I feel people's emotions and energies around me.
Well, I do something up on my website called an intuitive ability assessment. You could buy it for yourself. You could buy it for someone else as a gift. People are addicted to those. We also have another show coming up. Are you a psychic, a medium, or an empath here in, I think, a few weeks? Could you put that in the comment section for them so they can make sure they're here? What I'm feeling with that detail that you gave is empathic ability. And you do seem to be hitting levels 3, 4 empathic ability. Check out my class up on the website called Empathic Awareness. So when you are able to feel other people's emotions, you are able to feel physically, it's called clairsentience, what they have going on in their bodies. You're getting these physical impressions from them. You're getting emotional impressions from them. And at the 3rd and the 4th levels of empathic ability, you develop telepathy, so you can also hear what they're thinking. And we would see this with you in regards to healing. So empathic ability is healing ability at any of the 4 levels. And this may be something that you've repeatedly been drawn to do, whether it be like Reiki, energy work, psychic surgery, medical, intuitive. For you, you may even be drawn to some paranormal stuff, because that is another major form of healing that's increasing the need, okay, for it in the world today. And you may find that you have what we call hot hands, like your hands swelling, getting red, tingling in the face, the mouth, the tongue. And this will just activate. This will just happen when you're around other people or situations, even through the computer, that like desperately need your healing. It's trying to come out of you. And so I think a great place for you to start is with the psychic mediumship course. But I would also recommend that empathic awareness class, because it's going to break down all 4 levels. It's going to help you to understand how you're positively affected, but also negatively affected, and how to control it. Okay. This is, you have to be careful, especially at the higher levels. You're not getting drained all the time. It can cause a lot of stomach problems, migraines, ADD-like symptoms, anxiety attacks, depression. We want to get it under control. Okay.
Okay, this one is from Alexia.
Alexia.
Should I get a therapist?
Well, I don't think any kind of therapist. No, I would avoid most of the people I see crossing your path. But I think that there is a right therapist for you. I think it's important to pick a therapist who isn't going to judge your intuition, your spirituality, misdiagnose you, put you on medication. I think it's important to also pick a therapist who is actively listening and leading you into the next part of your healing process and growth. There seems to be a lot of options around you that are toxic. And I think that a lot of these people would be interested in keeping you right where you are so that they can make more money off of you. But there is a great option around, and this person would be able to sort of challenge you, get you to develop more. And that's so important when you're dealing with therapy. Okay. So yes, I think so. I also think you need to be careful. Okay.
Okay. This one is from Ashley.
Ashley.
I was wondering if my grandmother Margaret on the other side had any messages for me.
She does. So when I go over here with your grandmother, she's helping you sweep out your house. Okay, so the house represents your life. In particular, she's showing the kitchen. And the kitchen can represent what you're feeding yourself, what you're feeding your soul, what you're feeding your mind, what relationships you're involved in, okay? What kind of energy is coming into your self on a regular basis. And she helps you to sweep right out the door anything that is no longer serving you. So it does feel like you're cleaning house. She also is helping you. This is all symbology, obviously, right? But washing the dishes. And so when we look at things like bowls and spoons and teacups, and this is what she's really showing here, these are all prosperity symbols. The fact that you're cleaning them, you're polishing them, she's helping you get them ready. And then you guys are placing them out on this table together. She's like, this will get filled, this will get filled, this will get filled. These are all symbols about what is coming up for you in regards to opportunity, promotion, blessings, but you can't have that until you sweep out the house. Okay, so get rid of anybody and anything that's been holding you back. She loves you very much.
All right. This one is from M.
E-M. M. Okay.
Will my friend Abby, A-B-I, and I be on talking terms again? There seems to be a bit of a fallout lately.
I think it could happen. It also feels kind of awkward. And so I think that it could get, I don't want to say even worse, but it could end up being that there's this elephant in the room and you may feel inclined to like point it out, and then things get worse. And if you don't point it out, you guys aren't really being very authentic with each other anymore. I think this person has a lot going on, and I think this person isn't interested in sharing or reaching a place of intimacy in this friendship. I would leave it alone if I were you. Let it unfold however it needs to unfold. I think you've been a good friend. I think you have done what you're supposed to in this situation, and you're available. Just visualize that you're putting that energy out, but you're going to sit and receive. You're not going to cross that line and reach. Okay?
Funny phrasing you chose, considering this next question I had picked for Samantha.
Samantha?
There was a day where I got the symbolism of an elephant in so many ways, like through songs popping in my head, other people, and even store signs. What did it mean? I've never thought about elephants before.
Oh, elephants are my favorite. Elephants and turtles. So elephants represent the feminine. They stay together for generations. They will take care of each other's kids. So you'll have like great grandmothers, moms, the kids all the way down, and they live in community, all the females. They are incredibly, incredibly intelligent and full of wisdom. If someone wrongs an elephant's child or the tribe, the herd, they will actually wait quietly for as long as it takes to get revenge on those humans. They're brutal, and they're just so smart and intriguing out of all the animals. And I think that in symbology, and I have 4 hours of symbology training up on my website for the psychic mediumship course that you would enjoy. When you're talking about symbols popping in your head, it's best, instead of going to Google or going to a dream book, okay, or anything like that, it's best to sit with the symbol quietly and ask your guides and your higher mind to show you what it means. But definitely when that was happening for you, you were in a period of your life where you had to use your feminine power. Okay. Hi. Oh, the baby.
Okay. This one's from the Silly Rabbit.
The Silly Rabbit.
What does my spirit or my guide say about my relationships at this time? I have a few people I'm speaking to, but it hasn't gone past a friend level.
So just romantic partnerships in general, what does anyone have to say about it? I feel like there's not a ton going on here, and there's not really a ton going on for a little while, possibly in about 2 months, but it's more like 4 months out from now. I think that you're in a period of time where you're not necessarily supposed to be investing in relationships. And so when you keep yourself out there and it's not the right time, you could attract all kinds of odd situations, or just situations that are sort of empty, like this. And that's okay. I don't feel like it's a huge problem. I also don't feel like you should worry about it or like waste much energy on it, because someone you're supposed to actually be investing in isn't coming in for a little while. Okay. So right around the corner, about 4 months, and it'll be a different story.
Okay. All right. So this one is from Stephanie.
You want to sit? You want to go? What do you want to do? Just get hair all over me? Okay. Stephanie?
Just enough to leave his mark, right?
Yep.
I was wondering if you had any messages from my father, David.
David, okay. He kept showing me the clock, and I hear like grandfather clock, ding dong, and then sands of time, like a sand timer, and the number 3, and then the number 7, and then the number 5. Okay, so he loves his symbols. Okay, and he loves you. Okay, he loves you. And he's giving you a big hug. And he said, look at this beautiful face. Look at this beautiful face. I feel like you've got these rosy cheeks. He's like, look at this beautiful face. So what does all this mean? All right. So we've got the time clock. We've got the clock. We're talking about it's time for something in your life is what he means by this. Okay. So it's time for some change to occur. I also feel like he's using numbers to communicate with you. So he's a numerology guy. That means you have to be a numerology girl, right? You need to learn the language of numerology. We have classes for that. You can Google them. But you need to, every time you see a number from him, understand it's not in relation to him. It's in relation to you. He's giving you guidance about something that's happening in your life at that time, or a question you asked him. And then he shows me almost like this timer, the sand timer. And I thought this was a little weird. It was almost like he flipped it, but it was already empty. which doesn't make any logical sense. And so that kind of takes us back to the first message with the clock, right? You're out of time. It's time. Something's overdue. Some change in life here. Now, what he wants to say about that particular change is he's giving you the number 3, which is the Holy Trinity, or we could say it's divinity. That you're being supported in any changes you need to make in your life right now, or that you've been aware of for a while. It's also giving you the number 7, which means truths are being revealed right now. So things are being exposed. People are showing true colors, and different opportunities that you didn't have access to before are now opening up to you. You now are going to have all of the pieces of the puzzle so that you can piece everything together. You may have also been feeling like some circumstances were holding you back. You weren't completely sure. That's going to be changing. And then he gives you the number 5, which is major change in your entire life. That's kind of all areas of your life and big levels up coming up right around the corner. And he gave you a ladybug, which is like good luck. Okay, you're going to have good luck in this, and he's helping every step along the way. Okay, he's very proud of you. We are at time, everybody. If you need to book a reading, go to Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. And if you need it immediately, you can do an email reading or go to Ivy's Healing Call Center. We are open 7 days a week. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Polly.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Spirit. Have a great night.